Hey, I'm Laura Britt, host at NBC Sports Bay Area, and this is Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Under 20, Smith back to throw. Smith takes off. Geno Smith, end zone ahead. Touchdown Seattle. With 12 seconds, Geno Smith again puts the Seahawks on his back. And Seattle's got the lead.
Coming to you from the press box at Levi Stadium, it's Bay Area Sports Wrap. I'm Marko Ukalovic. Alongside of me is Ryan Leong, and it was a difficult loss for the San Francisco 49ers this afternoon here in Santa Clara. 20-17, Geno Smith leads the game-winning drive. He goes in and rushes for a touchdown with 12 seconds left to pretty much ice the game and complete the comeback for the Seattle Seahawks, who, again, this was a huge game for both teams in a division where everyone's tight with each other, and the 49ers had this game, but they were not able to finish. They were not able to close out this game. They punted the ball back with just under 2 minutes left in this game, or a little bit over 2 minutes left in this game, and Seattle was able to drive down for the game-winning score, and now the Niners are back to 500, 5-5, and Ryan, I got to tell you, this was a bad loss for the 49ers.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a good loss, but this definitely was a bad one as far as like the Niners clearly had the win in their grasp, and they definitely let one slip away. This is definitely that old saying of, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat or something like that, I think is a saying. Just a bad loss. I mean, and evidenced by the fact that the locker room was very quick. I was actually on the Seahawks side because I had to arrange for a guest for Sirius NFL Radio. But I know, Marko, when I got back to you at the Niners side, that they had already closed the locker room, and the last person to be interviewed in the interview room was Christian McCaffrey, and we were out of there by like 5:05, which for a 1 p.m. game is very quick. Normally, we're not out of the locker room until about maybe 5:20 or so. Yeah. Of course, there was no George Kittle. That has a lot to do with it because he seems to be always the guy that, he's just a good talker, whether win or lose. But, yeah, you could tell there's a lot of dejection, a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger going on. And this team coming off of, they did play it in Tampa Bay, so they've already been off the bye. But first game since the bye, and this team looks like they need another bye week the way they played, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it was definitely a somber locker room, as I could attest to. Jauan Jennings, who had a great game today, was really the lone bright spot for this 49ers offense. Did not want to talk to the media. He kept repeating, I have nothing to say to you guys. I have nothing to say to you guys. So that really should explain to you how bad of a loss that this team is taking it right now, because you look at the way they could have closed this game out, and you look at the way how momentum has swung when they get the interception, in that third quarter. Instead of going down and driving, they were deep into Seattle territory when that interception was made. I believe it was the 25-yard line, and they had to settle for field goal instead of putting the game away with the touchdown. And I think if they get that touchdown in that instance, that there is no comeback by Seattle. And that, to me, that was a key momentum-changing play in this game, Ryan.
Was that the one where I remember McCaffrey had that one run where he ran for like 14 yards, but then there was illegal formation? Yes. Is that the one?
That's the drive, same drive. Yeah. So you got that same drive where, again, you got the run by McCaffrey, and the United just took a lot of bad penalties. That's another thing. You had that illegal formation. You had a holding penalty that negated one touchdown. Now, obviously, the Niners got the touchdown later on in that drive to go up 17 to 13 at that point, with Jauan Jennings catching that wide open touchdown. But still, it was the little things like that is what cost this game for the 49ers. Again, Brian, when you look at the way this happened and the way they lost this game, it was these little things that they just can't have happen right now.
No, I agree. And the thing also is, the Seahawks, they started that drive with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It was an 11-play, 80-yard drive. I mean, they ate a lot of clock, too. I mean, that's what a good team does. They just burn a lot of clock. Sure, the Niners had a chance, but you need a miracle with 12 seconds left to try to do anything. Right. So, even though Jauan Jennings had a great game, he had two excellent 3rd and 11 plays that he got first down on that, as Greg Papa, the Niners announcer, calls him 3rd and Jauan, and that's why he's called 3rd and Jauan, because he gets these big first down completions. And just what a waste of his effort today,
Yeah, definitely. And you look at, he had two big first down catches when they were 3rd and 11, just on that drive alone. And overall, I believe he had 4, if I remember what Papa and Tim Ryan were saying during that one drive. So he had 4 catches on 3rd and longs to create first downs to keep drives going for the 49ers. And to me, Ryan, what cost, I think, this game today was that Kyle Shanahan did not give enough touches on the ball for Christian McCaffrey. He only had 23 total, 19 rushes and 4 receptions out of the backfield. This guy needs to get at least 25, if not 30, for this offense to be successful. I know they were without George Kittle today. He was not able to go throughout the practice week. He was very limited, and when he did get out there, but he just wasn't able to do it game time. So yeah, they missed him, but when you're missing a piece like that, when you don't have a Brandon Ayuk, you got to feed the beast, which is Christian McCaffrey. This guy he was the offensive player of the year last year for a reason, and if you're not giving him the ball a lot, that to me is asking for a loss, Ryan.
Well, I'll go even further. You also have a guy named Jordan Mason, who's a good running back too, and he did a great job for McCaffrey. Well, McCaffrey didn't play at all until they came back from the bye, and Jordan Mason had what? Two attempts for 13 yards. Deebo Samuel, 1 attempt, -1 rushing yards. He's another guy that should have been utilized more, right? And Samuel had 4 catches for 22 yards. He was underutilized completely. Ricky Pearsall, targeted twice, no catches, no yards. So it was really bad. I mean, just the Niners overall just didn't utilize any of their weapons. I mean, and yeah, like you said, even when you're missing George Kittle, those other guys need to step up too. And how much do you put the blame on? I guess you do have to put it on Shanahan. He's the coach. And what's the coach's job? Always say you got to get your players prepared. His players were not prepared. He failed at his job.
It's extremely disappointing. Thought we had a chance to put him away a number of times throughout the game. I thought the penalties we had on a number of drives just killed us. I thought we had some good momentum, and then had a penalty that kind of ended the drive on 2 big drives that cost us points on both of them. Still should have put it away there on that last drive, and had every opportunity to, and missed a couple opportunities to do that. And when we did that, we gave them a chance, and thought our defense played great all game until that last drive. But let them hang around, and when you let people hang around, that's what happens.
He did. He definitely failed. He was outcoached today. Simply, that's the best thing you can summarize how they lost. He was outcoached. He did not give his players the best chance to win throughout this game. There was no reason why they only scored 17 points. They could have easily had at least 28, if not 31 points in this game. And because he underutilized his weapons like McCaffrey, like Deebo, and even Juwan Jennings, I think, could have had more opportunities as well. It's getting to the point now where, is Kyle Shanahan maybe on the hot seat if they don't make the playoffs? Because this is such a division where no one's a clear favorite. It should be the 49ers. I know they've been dealing with injuries, but they're pretty much healthy for the most part. And the fact that they lost today makes me question, what Kyle Shanahan is doing that with this team. It's offensively, he's been a disaster for really his last 2 games. Even last week against Tampa, they barely beat Tampa Bay. Okay, I know Jake Moody didn't have his best game, but a lot of those drives shouldn't even come down to Moody kicks last week against Tampa Bay. And you have a Seattle defense that's been giving up a lot of points this season, and the fact that they weren't able to put up more than 17, that is all coaching for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And look what happens next, right? The Niners have to go to Lambeau Field. Now, granted, it's not going to be January, but still, it's starting to get colder this time of the year, and it's always a tough place to play when you're playing at one of the most storied football stadiums of all. I think Lambeau Field is like the Wrigley Field of football, And then after that, the Niners have to go on the road again to Buffalo, and they got to face a Bills team that finally beat the Chiefs, right? Took the Chiefs down, and that's always going to be a tough challenge because you go to Orchard Park and Bills fans are almost like Raiders fans. They call them Bills Mafia. The fans have a good time with the tailgates. They'll throw themselves on collapsible tables.
Yeah, they like to jump off cars and break tables. These Buffalo Bills fans are nuts. They're insane. It must be the cold weather. I don't know what makes you possess you to do something like that. But first things first, they got to go to Green Bay and they got to be able to beat a Green Bay Packers team that came back today. They beat the Chicago Bears. They got a lot of momentum, and they got another quarterback who can run, move out of the pocket, and make things difficult for defenses. And the way I see it, if they don't have the type of defense that can put pressure on Jordan Love. It could be a long day. And now Nick Bosa, who knows if he's going to play? He left this game earlier in the second half with, I believe, a hip pointer. And, he wasn't able to finish this game. And if he's out for a significant period of time going forward for the rest of the season, it's bad news defense for this 49ers defense, should I say.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say on top of that, Marko. I think you pretty much hit all the points. And in this game, the Seahawks scored both their touchdowns after Bosa had left the game. So it just goes to show you how much of a difference maker he is. And again, I think even with all the injuries and all the problems the Niners have had this year, they are still underachieving, and they just have to do better. And if they don't, then they're not going to make the playoffs.
Right. And it would be a shame if this team that coming off a Super Bowl run last year just fails to make the playoffs in a division that is not tough. I'm sorry. The Seattle Seahawks are not a good team. And the Arizona Cardinals, they got Kyler Murray and what have you, but their defense isn't that great. And the Rams today, I know they got their weapons back with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, but still, they had a tough time over there. I forgot who they played today, but, they almost barely didn't win that game. And so you look at the way this division is, it should be for the Niners taking, and they're not taking it.
Right.
And I don't know what else they need to do. They kept saying today in the locker room they need to clean some things up. I mean, we're at what? Going into week 12? They shouldn't be needing to have to clean things up. That's something you happen maybe week 3, week 4. By this time of the season, Ryan, this stuff needs to be already cleaned up, and they need to be firing off cylinders, and they're not.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you know what? I know we're not going to be back here at Levi's until December 8th, so hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be recapping the Niners games, of course, while they're on the road at Green Bay and Buffalo, respectively. But, right? Anything else to add, Marko?
No, not too much. I think we've hit all the topics that we wanted to. So, from all of us here at Bay Area Sports Wrap, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and we will talk to you next time right after the Green Bay Packers game, and hopefully we'll see if the 49ers come out of the frozen tundra with a win. For Ryan Leong, I'm Marko Ukalovic. This is Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Seahawks with a last-minute drive from Geno Smith keep their playoff hopes alive. A road win in Santa Clara.
Hi, it's Sharks public address announcer Danny Miller for Bay Area Sports Wrap. Remember to give us a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.